Everybody ready? Everybody ready? All good? Go ahead and call this evening's meeting to order. Tuesday, January 27th, Chambersburg Area School District Board of Directors, our regular voting meeting. If you would, please rise and join me for a pledge of allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Prior to this evening's meeting, at 6:30, the board did meet in an executive session to discuss two real estate matters. Item 2.03, motion and second, please, for approval to adopt tonight's agenda.
So moved.
Second. Motion by Mr. Haydick, second by Mr. McKee. Questions, discussions? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it and so moved. Item 3.01, Superintendent's Report, Mr. Bigger.
Yep, thank you, Mr. Nark.
AKA Weatherman.
Yeah.
Jim Cantori, eat your heart out.
I'm not sure I have any better predictions than they do, but we try. So I have a few comments about the weather as well. I do want to thank the board. It's School Board Appreciation Month. In January, you have a few items in front of you just for a small token of appreciation. But more importantly, the words and the thankfulness I have for you as a board, helping set direction in the district to move us forward. So I do thank you for your time, for your energy, for you working for wonderful compensation for the district. And I do thank you for everything that you do. So don't ever feel that we don't appreciate you. You do help set the direction, and you also set the tone for the district and the working conditions. So really appreciate the last couple of years, and I look forward to the years ahead. We will be creating a school board plaque. I'm not embarrassed to say I stole the idea from Mechanicsburg. I was in their boardroom and saw a wonderful plaque for years of service. And we're working through that right now. Faye, the historian's helping us find out the history of all board members and how long that they've served. But we're going to create a plaque and put it in the back for years of service. I think you have to hit 12 years to get on the plaque, but we're working through that just to really recognize and keep that history. I do think, sorry if you're not going to make 12, but it had to be cut off somewhere because everybody can't fit on the plaque. But it was an exciting project for us to talk about because I don't think we recognize you enough. But we also don't want to forget the history. If Faye's no longer our historian and not here, I'm not sure how we find the information out. Right. So we're working on that. February 11th and 16th will now be school days. So we did have 2 weather closings this week. They are now school days, so they're right around the corner. If need be, we will have March 13th and 18th for snow makeup days as well. So 2 down, 2 remaining on the calendar. Also, just for tomorrow, we will be on time for tomorrow. There's a few schools remaining on time and not delaying. We'll be flexible, certainly, with weather-related travel and notes for students between tardies and absences. But the temperature difference between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. is about 2 degrees. So the delay really doesn't get us much for the cold. So we're hopeful that people just dress warm and take your time on the way to school tomorrow and the rest of the week. I do want to thank everyone that orchestrated the mid-year graduation. So thanks, Mrs. Luffy and the whole team for putting a beautiful ceremony on. I think it's the first of many to come, and it's only going to continue to grow. So it was nice being inside and for all the participation. So thank everyone for pulling that together in mid-year. It was a very nice ceremony. I do want to thank Dr. Long and the team. The architects are working very hard at reducing square foot. So what you don't see behind the scenes is sometimes when you go to build a school, it's what everybody wants in the school. And then it gets really big and you're like, oh, we can't afford that. So now they're working on the next phase, which is reducing square foot. So you will see that in the next board meeting, the presentation from the architects of how we're working down the square foot. So I want to thank their time, energy, and effort for taking care of that, but also working hard to keep the square foot manageable. We are also working on the consolidation savings. So we want to get to you a number that we feel and believe between the schools that will consider shuttering, repurposing, selling, and keeping, in addition to the consolidation of staff. We need to get you a number that we feel is realistic from a one-time for sale of any buildings that we do, but also our internal number for consolidating staff. So we want to make sure that that's part of the equation. We're just not building buildings for the sake of buildings. We also do have some cost avoidance. I'd hate to say savings, but we avoid increasing in cost. So we're trying to get you that number in the next month or so as well. The last item I'm going to throw to Tammy on the boiler. So we did have some struggles right before this weather. So Tammy, if you want to talk about the Cam South boiler and the quick work to get that at least addressed for now.
Sure. As you know, we experienced significant boiler failures over the weekend of January 17th. Essentially, 2 of the 3 boilers were no longer functioning. We were functioning in the building a little bit cooler than we'd like, but that week of January 19th with just 1 boiler that was working. While it was capable of sustaining the building under those conditions, it really did not have or does not have the capacity to sustain the building with the Arctic cold that we're currently experiencing, and I think we're going to continue to experience through January. Additionally, all of these boilers have reached the end of their life. They were all installed in 2001, making them 25 years old. We were able, through the work with Matt Varner and Scott Moyer and a company called 3B Solutions, to bring a 300 HP boiler in from Scranton. They had to bring it in on a 48-foot trailer. They did so, started on Friday, got here on Saturday, and were able to install that boiler, which we are currently renting. They are working with 3B Solutions right now to find a permanent solution of purchasing potentially 2 high-efficiency boilers that will be able to sustain this building throughout the period of time that we intend to occupy it, which is looking like probably 2029. Mr. Bigger, I'm looking at you. I do, again, want to thank Matt Varner and Scott Moyer. They worked tirelessly over that week with 3B Solutions to try to get something workable, knowing that we were facing the snowstorm on Sunday and very cold climate this week. And I also want to thank the Cam South staff and the administration for their patience as we've worked through the solution.
And the report.
All right, thank you, Mr. Bigger. In my industry, we say the same thing. These mechanical devices do not like cold weather, and it happens at the most inopportune time, cold and heat. Anyway, I often mention the recognition times for different staff. I know last time, and sometimes I remember, sometimes I forget. So someone reminded me, I can't take credit for this, someone reminded me of this, but next week is School Counselor Appreciation Week. So to staff, students, parents, public, you know, let your school counselors know how much they are appreciated. Wow. Those of us who have children or who have already raised children, just imagine being a counselor for that many children at one time. So I didn't miss it, and thank you to whoever reminded me. It doesn't look like you're writing, Mr. Bigger.
No comment.
But, okay. My other comment, staying on task, next month is a very busy month with Schools of Distinction by 2030. First meeting next month, there'll be an architect's presentation. Dr. Long, I'm so thankful, grateful to hear from Mr. Bigger's report. In 12 years, I've often used the term scope creep. And I'm glad to hear that we are looking at maybe some reverse scope creep, or at least back it down a little bit. So that's good news. Then after we hear the information from the architect, then the second meeting we'll have PFM here to look at how we finance this rascal. You know, right now we're looking, you know, maybe all 3 buildings, $270 million range, plus or minus. Might get more information in 2 weeks. And the big question is going to be how we're going to fund that. There's several options. PFM will present 3 different scenarios, is what we've asked them to bring forward. I haven't seen them yet, but we did talk to Mrs. Gogler. Chris and I spoke with John Fry a month and a half ago as far as put together 3 options and see what they look like. On a personal note, since these meetings are recorded, I love it in this regard. I have been an advocate for these buildings from day one. However, as most of you know, I'm pretty darn fiscally conservative. But what I'm most proud of, as much as it makes me nervous for tax increases, is that if you're in favor of something, then you have to be in favor of paying for it. You can't be an advocate for anything and then not have a way to pay for it. That's what John Fry's presentation will also include, that what that looks like. And keep in mind, whatever those tax numbers look like for those 3 scenarios, that's in addition to our normal operating increases every year, which historically have been between 2 and 3% every year. And when we get to new business, I'll comment on that on Mr. Bigger's report earlier, but don't want to take time now to do that. So with that, conclude my comments for tonight. One more I will say to Chris. I made fun of him about AKA the weatherman. I don't envy him one bit in having to make these decisions on snow days. Some of us love snow, and there are others who don't like snow, and you won't please everyone. You'll have half the group that is impartial. You'll have a quarter of them who are opposed to his decision and a quarter of them who are in favor of his decision. You can't win them all, so I don't envy him a bit, but I sent him a message yesterday, very generic. I just said, use your own best judgment to make the right decision. So I trust his decision. Thank you. No presentations tonight. Item 5, privilege of the floor. 1 signed in. We have a full house here tonight, so I think we have plenty of time. That doesn't mean I'm going to go over the 3 minutes, so I'm not going to waive that one. First comment is Valerie Jordan, items 705 and items 8.0.
I'm winging this tonight, even though I have 2 statements. First, the administration works as a team, and the school board works as a team. And the reason I say that is you're a committee of the whole. I looked at your board policy for class size. It was revised in February of 2023. It's a good policy. You're not going to try to change it for the sake of changing it. And I'll tell you why. Class sizes, now I will say part of my speech. Class sizes were larger, and I never thought about this until Chris Bigger brought it up. And then I thought about it because I'm a product of the 50s and 60s. Class sizes were larger in the 1950s, 60s, and 70s because the influx of baby boomers into America's classroom. I happen to be one. World War II happened. New schools weren't able to be built at the time. This phenomena just didn't happen in our public schools at the time. It also happened in our Catholic schools. For most of my young life, I went to Catholic school. I graduated from a public high school. There I sat with 59 other classmates in St. Cecilia's School in Island, New Jersey, which is no longer there because of the demographic. The more you know about history. The other thing, I'm not too concerned about the debt, because right now, the annual debt is 5.4% of my tax bill. If it goes up a little bit, I'm fine with that. And the reason is children. Children need schools, books, teachers, guidance counselors. They need a whole lot, okay? And things have gotten better since the 1950s. I can tell you that. I had nuns, and you couldn't even turn your head. And I never sat detention in my life. So, again, let me see. The annual debt is $11.6 million. Total expenditures, $212 million. And the annual debt is 5.4%. And roads and bridges in our state, any civil engineer knows this, goes into the billions of dollars. Any civil engineer, man or woman, I checked, okay? Because I check into things and I research. And that's what I'm given. I'm given these facts. So we're going to move ahead with this for the kids. I'm going to pay for it. And my husband and I have agreed we are. So no more complaining about it.
Thank you, Mrs. Jordan. Any other members of the audience? Yes, ma'am. Just share your name with us, please, so we have it for our minutes. Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Erin Atherton, and I am a parent of 2 CAS children as well as a taxpayer. I want to speak tonight on an agenda item 7.02, personnel actions, specifically related to Mr. Richard Bricker, music and band teacher from Camps North. It is my understanding that Mr. Bricker has been gone from Camps North since early December. This departure made it impossible for the students to have their winter concert, and they were told that the concert would be, quote, rescheduled due to unforeseen circumstances. No communication was ever made to the students or parents about Mr. Bricker's so-called retirement. A job posting was made on December 30th, 2025 for his replacement, again, without notice to parents or students that Mr. Bricker had, quote unquote, retired. A teacher with as much experience and tenure as Mr. Bricker would not simply abandon his students before a concert to retire. Where is the transparency within CASD and the school board? Thank you.
Thank you. Other members of the audience who wish to make public comment this evening? Okay, hearing none. First consent agenda group, Group 6, items 6.01 through 6.08. First off, ask if there's any of these items that anyone would like to separate and vote on individually. Again, one vote gets all of them unless we want to discuss them and vote on any of them separately or individually. I would like to pull off I shouldn't say pull off, vote on item 6.01 and discuss it individually, which is proposed LIU 12 general operating budget. Any others? Okay, items 6.02 through 6.08. We'll do a motion second, then I'll ask the admin for any questions or any comments, and then board can do it. So motion to approve item 6.02 through 6.08.
Move to approve. Second.
Motion by Mrs. Gogler, second by Mrs. Gauss. Okay, before we vote, admin, any
No comments on those.
comments on anything?
Nope.
Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it, and so moved. Okay, motion and second for item 6.01.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Dr. Diller, second by Mr. Raber. I'll go first since I asked, I made a comment on this beginning of the month at our committee of the whole meeting, and as I often do, I think about those comments more and more, and sometimes I get more questions, and sometimes I satisfy myself in time. As I mentioned in my opening remarks about tax increases, we're going to have some tax increases here coming for our building project. I don't know that any of us are strong advocates for tax increases, but as I said, for the building projects, I'm all in because I support the building projects. However, I think we need to be very cautious and try to see where else we can save money at on our annual 2 to 3% increase. I'm just concerned with this budget as it impacts Chambersburg School District with the Franklin Learning Center. Conversation with Mr. Bigger, I mean, I was very pleased, a little bit surprised, but I was very pleased to hear that we actually have more students at Franklin Learning Center this year than last year. As much as that makes me excited, it also ratchets up my concern. My concern is, from the presentation we had from the director and looking at this budget, I don't know what, I'm afraid of the tax implications to Chambersburg School District for having that same number of students in that facility next year. Because I am very much concerned that our rates, what we pay the LIU for our students at Franklin Learning Center, are going to go up. So that a little over 3% increase, I just can't be a supporter of it this evening. Any other thoughts or comments?
Yeah, I'd like to pipe up too that I think there needs to be some tightening of the belt there, and I will not be in support of it as well.
I have a question. Do we have historical perspective on what recent increases have been like? I'm asking you on the fly, so if you don't have it on hand, that's totally fine. But
Tammy, I wouldn't have it.
3.4 seems, reasonable to me. I mean, it's not absurd, and it's not like 5 or 7 or is 3.4 a normal increase? Maybe it is, right? Maybe last year was 1%, and so they're making up for it. Or maybe last year was high, and this is actually low. Without that, I don't really have a whole lot to say about this, except that seems not too far off of a normal increase year over year for all costs that increase.
Is it also true that there was a significant increase in paying of their teachers in reference to our district? Because that's one of the increases that I think, funneling that, I understand that we're all trying to get teachers and we, increases. But, when we're trying to stay at 3 and we've added, 1 to help with our building projects. But, even though it's 3.4, I think I just want them to take a finer look at that in the future. I know it's several districts that will be voting on this, so my vote's not going to carry anything in that regard. But I think it needs to be looked at, that they've got to tighten up too.
Just for a point of reference, as the liaison to the LIU, the 3%, that has nothing to do with the contributions that the district makes. This general operating budget, we were contributing about $14,000 and they got rid of that. So we are no longer contributing anything to the general operating budget in that way. Anything that we are paying, and Chris, please correct me if I'm incorrect, anything that we are paying to the LIU is based strictly on services that we will be using for students or services that we will be utilizing from the LIU. It is now going to be an a la carte type menu, and Tammy has received, I believe, a list of if you need therapeutic support, if you need behavioral issues, if you have a multi-disability, whatever it is that you would need for your special education students, you now have a fixed price that you will know at the beginning of the year, this is how much you will be paying for special education, which hopefully will help eliminate a lot of the big transfers that were being done, because there was a lot of uncertainty. There was a lot of back and forth based on, I think, who was teaching, the experience of that teacher, what was going on. So the LIU is attempting to make it a lot more clear cut. That way, if we feel as Chambersburg School District that we can do it better here and we can do it cheaper here, we can pull those students back into the district and save ourselves money in that way. And if we feel that there are things that we cannot do, then they are going to be using that. So I just wanted to be clear that the operating budget, you're seeing that 3% is not a direct correlation to anything that we would be paying, because the contribution that we were making that used to be included in that, the $14,000, has been taken out. There is from last time when we actually saw the budget, there's a chart there that tells you where they're getting the revenue from, and the district contributions across the board have gone down to 0. So I just wanted to make that clarifying statement there, that it's not quite apples to apples in that way. And if I misspoke in any of that, please feel free to clarify anything, Chris.
The only clarity I would give is because the centers, that's the York Learning Center, Franklin Learning Center, did increase wages and salaries to gain teachers and staff, we're going to see a bigger bill on that. That's how they're able to cover their operating costs. So increase one side, drop the other side.
It's still an increase.
It's an increased cost, yeah. Just throw in a different spot.
It's a sum of the parts. It's
Yeah.
still total dollars to LIU for Franklin Learning Center. And that's my concern, that, those total dollars, in my conversation with Chris, to the point, I think, and not so much a percentage, X total dollars divided by Y students. And we get a little bit of a historical perspective of what it costs on average per student. We know that, for instance, at Career Tech, we know that if we send them out to a third party, it's X per student. We know how much it costs us for the folks at cyber charter schools. I think the comparison is how much does it cost per student at Franklin Learning Center. That's the way I benchmark that, and I'm just concerned that total cost is going to continue to go up.
I mean,
Disproportionately go up. All the costs go up, but I'm afraid it's going to go up disproportionately. I hope I'm wrong.
One comment I'll make about the Franklin Learning Center, since I'm a little closely tied to that as a board member there. It's an aging facility. They have significant infrastructure issues that they're trying to resolve, that like we either have to do or build a new school. And so they're doing the best they can, I believe, with what they have, and that's not cheap. So that's my only comment.
Facility improvements would be in addition to any of this money. That would be a separate cost share between sending districts. Yes. That's in addition to whatever the per diem rates
Just
are.
saying, it's coming.
Oh, yeah, I know it. It's like a roof at the Career Tech Center. You pay for the students, and when it comes time to put a roof on, you share the cost of the roof. Okay. No other comments or discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Aye.
Skip 2.
2, yes, Dr. Diller and myself. Motion passes 7-2. Consent agenda, new items, Group 7, items 7.01 through 7.15. Since these are new items, I'm going to ask the administration if they would like to comment or elaborate on any of the new items. These were items that we did not discuss 2 weeks ago at Committee of the Whole.
I have one item, if you don't mind. It's
Yes, sir.
7.05. This was the request to review all of our buildings in the future, ones we're considering to vacate, and get them all evaluated and assessed for recommendations. So this is that proposal to make sure we're ahead of that. So this would help us make decisions over buildings we would keep, buildings we would sell, buildings we would lease, moving forward. So packaging all of these together so the board has some good information. And most of this is real estate, so it would happen in executive session, but it is the proposal to get that data analysis done for you. That's the only item I have that's out of the norm.
Okay. Motion and second for items 7.01 through 7.15. Or no, does anyone wish to vote on any of these items separately? Okay. Hearing none. Motion to approve items 7.01 through 7.15.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Dr. Diller, second by Mr. McKee. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it, so moved. No old business, nothing under education and services, finance and facilities. Motion and second to approve gifts, grants, and donations, please.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Gogler, second by Mr. Raber. Questions, comments, board members? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it, and so moved. Item 11.01, first reading of policies. Policy 215, promotion and retention. Policy 609, investments. Motion and second, please.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion by Dr. Diller, second by Mr. Haydick. Questions or discussions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it, and so moved. Second reading of policies, 3 of them this time. Policy 146, student services. Policy 229, student fundraising. Policy 234, pregnant parenting married students. Motion and second to approve these 3 policies on the second reading.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Gauss, second by Ms. Harbaugh. Questions or discussions? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it, so moved. No, nothing under safety and security. Item 13, new business. I'll start with board members. Then I have 2 items, just more discussion than anything else. But board members, other board members first.
I have something that's more of a comment than really, but having watched Brad give his presentation and interview with Mr. Bigger a few weeks ago, and most recently Ms. Luffy, I think those are great. It's nice to hear in their own voice what's going on, and especially not in this formal setting, but just kind of in a more relaxed environment. So I would say, please continue doing those things, especially with people we don't normally hear from.
Thank you.
Other board members? I said I had 2 items and more questions and thoughts than anything else. Mr. Berger, I thought about it just in your superintendent's report when I wrote this down. Mentioned about the snow days. We have 4 built in this year, so we still have 2 to go. Refresh my memory what snow days look like in the new calendar. Are there any built in?
End of the year add-ons only. But because we've increased the day by 15 minutes, we could forgive a few days before we add on. If it makes sense to add on a week, we would do that. But if it was only 1 day, we would forgive the day because it's hours, not days anymore.
Okay.
But the calendar's the calendar's the calendar. It will not change. Whatever you see printed is the calendar. So no change is coming,
So
except at the end of the year.
there's a bank of hours
Yep,
to cover
that's
snow
correct.
days. Okay.
Can I just add on that? You know, I was seeing in the Friday report
Yep.
about the in-service and the planning that's going into this in-service. Has there been given thought that, I mean, they lost their in-service and they've lost
Yeah.
two days of in-service, which, you know, we've been
They're
putting
smiling over there
a
because they
high-
wanted to keep the days.
Well, I would agree with them.
Yeah.
Because the thing that I'm concerned about is, you know, we really want to go have top-notch
Mm-hmm.
staff development. So we're getting everybody on track to do staff development, and then boom, we have a
Right.
snow day, and instead of putting it on the end, the snow day,
Right.
they're losing out on the training and all the planning and the advanced work that people have done. So it kind of, it concerns me, is there?
Agreed.
Is there a way, why could we put it on the end?
Because on the calendar, it was listed as snow makeup days, and we're honoring the calendar that was communicated. I think if I have school on those days and add it to the end, that's not what was communicated. It's our traditional calendar of old, and we're changing it next year, but I was honoring the old traditional ways by creating that calendar. So that doesn't mean we couldn't, but they were identified, people reserve those days, they know we're using those for makeup. So I know the administration wants to keep those days. They begged me
Yeah,
to
but
not cancel the 11th.
students are coming in. Do you really think well, I don't know.
I mean, tacking them on to the end of the year for June 2nd after school's already out, I'm not sure attendance would be good. I mean, I just don't think it's going to work necessarily this year.
You probably don't reap the same benefit either,
No, as far as the educational value, yeah.
because if you can implement right away, there's a different impact.
Well,
Yeah.
we've just lost out on the training again, and I've been
We
on
did.
this board for 4 years, and every time you make staff development a priority, we just wash it out. And I don't think
Yeah.
instructionally, that's good. And I think that's been a deficit in the district for quite some time, that we have not had the staff development. And again, what incentive do people have for doing quality staff development, knowing even the
Can get
rest of the
canceled.
year it's going to get canceled out?
Yeah.
I mean, that's counterproductive, and I think they had some really good things planned, and I think it would have been better to put it on the end, but that's,
Right.
We can anticipate improvement next year
Yes.
with a
Well,
different calendar.
Well,
So,
of course, I disagree with that, but at the same time, I'm just saying,
but yeah.
staff development's important one time, but in another time, it's not. So this time, it's not because of the way we have it structured. So it's just a problem.
I mean, the only option I would have is to forgive the day, because we can count hours, and still run February 11th as an in-service day. I mean, I could do that. I could just cancel making up the day.
Then you're banking on no more snow days.
We do have enough hours since the high school did move to block. They really jumped up their overall minutes
Then I
because of the
think we
passing
need to
time.
We're just so close to what they have planned.
Right.
Could we split it?
I mean,
Do one as a makeup and one as a staff
You
development?
could, yeah. Yeah, we're running, I mean, the snow weather pattern's not looking good, so we did 2 this time. If the
Right.
patterns, if we're hitting 5, 6, 7 days, we're adding on a lot to the end or canceling a lot of days. So I'm more worried about the pattern of the weather right now than anything. But I could go down that path, and we could potentially keep the 11th, which would, I know, make that whole side of the room very, very happy, and just not make it up. But that is afforded to us with the new policies at the state that was not afforded to us before. So if the board
That's
wishes
not-
to do that,
That's what I was going to ask. Is that something the board has input into, or is that your decision on that?
it's usually the calendar development. So this is both. I think you guys can give me some input if you want us to.
I would support having the staff development as scheduled for the 11th.
Yeah, I would too.
I like the idea of one of each.
So we'll keep the President's
And
Day.
you decide which one
Makeup
goes
day,
which way,
well,
but
The 11th, I think, is the preferred, right, over there? The 11th is the preferred day to keep on the schedule. Now, I did indicate that we were using the snow makeup days to the group prior to, but I can certainly pull that back.
I mean, we're thinking big picture, the entire, what gets us
Yeah.
the best education for the
Sure.
remainder of the year,
Sure.
to split the difference.
Yeah.
I don't know, I think Dr. Diller's getting us something
I mean,
here.
I'm okay. All right.
I like the idea of, whatever we can do to get the in-service back in.
Okay.
I know in presentations last month, I think it was Mr. Nelson mentioned about the training he was looking forward to diving into at this next in-service, so.
I'm looking off the cuff. Can I recant my email I sent at 4 o'clock? Can we recover?
You can blame it on the board.
No, it's okay. I don't
Yeah,
care.
this is one
That's
you
what the
could
last
blame.
superintendent.
We can make good on it?
From the elementary side, we can.
Okay, so we'll have an internal meeting tomorrow, and we'll figure out
Did you have in-service
Best
scheduled for both of those days, or just one of them?
just the 11th.
Just the 11th?
The other one was a holiday.
Yeah.
So keep.
That would be normal. And then
Keep
there's
the
one other
holiday.
one in March that's an in-service day as well. All right, so yeah, do the snow dance, right? Do no more snow dance, yeah.
In order to bring it to the forefront, and I know
Yep.
that they put a lot of planning into it, I think it's, yeah. I mean, not to,
Yep.
I know it's your decision
Yep,
and
no,
not the
we're good.
board's, but.
It's an option, it's an option. When I can have options, I'll provide them. So this is one we can do.
that's what this section of the agenda is about, whether it's a comment or something like that, or, footnote to a previous discussion. I'm sorry, Mr. Raber.
I feel like there were only 3 or 4 of us that spoke there. I am curious to hear from the rest.
Go with the 11,
Okay.
the in-service. Professional development.
I was neutral, but
Sure.
the directors swayed me.
We're so glad
Just
you
blame it
came
on the
tonight.
board, Chris. That's all right.
That's all right.
If they don't like us, we won't have to worry about getting our name on
It's all
a
right.
plaque. We'll get voted
I'm
out.
going to remove School Board Appreciation Month now. No, I'm just kidding.
We know your name's on that plaque.
Yeah. My other comment, again, follows up on Mr. Bigger's superintendent report. Music to my ears about the cost avoidance. I know we've talked about it. The history over the years, a lot of times we hear people talk about cost avoidance, but we never get to see it, even what it may look like. So I'm glad to hear that. My personal thoughts on how they do with that, if it's a lump sum, i.e. a building or a sale of something or liquidation of something, if it's a lump sum, then it goes to cap reserve. If it's an annual reoccurring savings, then that helps offset this operating increase of 2 to 3%. That, I mean, to me, I think that sounds pretty simple. Again, 1% is roughly $1 million, round numbers. So if you save $1 million on reoccurring expenses, then that annual increase, instead of being a 2 to 3%, it's a 1 to 2%.
Yep.
I'd just like to comment that I'm in favor of downsizing if it's appropriate on these schools, but we need to make sure that we are planning adequate space for growth that may continue to occur. I know that we are unique among many schools that are losing students. We are gaining students, and I would hate to have us open with a concern that we didn't build big enough.
Yeah.
So I think we need to be cautious in reducing space.
And I guess the question would be, where are we experiencing most of the growth? Is it out in the hinterlands or
Sure.
closer in the town? And
Yeah.
those kind of,
You'll see all that at the next presentation with the architects, where we are with capacity and square foot.
Okay, any other thoughts, comments, ideas for new business? Good stuff. So again, what I said earlier, that's why this item is on the agenda. Information, 14.01 vacancy summary, 14.02 district enrollment summary, and next are some reports. LIU report, Mrs. Harbaugh, anything to report?
Just that we got a presentation at the meeting this month. They're going to be rolling out a new workflow automation, resource tracking, and customer management, vendor management for the LIU. So basically, they're making it more user-friendly. So you'll be able to get on there and find things a lot easier. There will be a lot more manageable. You'll find all your things in one place. So anything that Chambersburg is utilizing the LIU for will be in one dashboard. So it will not be all over the place. So everybody will know what Chambersburg is doing. Everyone will know what York is doing, and it'll just be everything in one place so they can manage it a lot better. And they're hoping that will help streamline it. That way also you can contact who you need to. That way you're not trying to guess, oh, I need this person or this person. It's going to be a lot more streamlined for all the districts to have a better experience on the user end, and then also for them dealing with their vendors as well. So that's, they're hoping to get that rolling. They're working with Global Data here to help get that set up and build out. And then they're going to be working toward a July 1 rollout for that. So just keep your eyes out for that, those of you that are utilizing that for the services.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Harbaugh. 1404 Franklin Learning Center. Anything to report?
Well, Mr. Hayduck is now the Vice President of the Franklin Learning Center Board.
I was trying to go under the radar on that.
You got a pay raise too?
I did indeed. I worked every nickel.
Congratulations.
Oh, is that all?
No, as was mentioned earlier, that there's a lot going on there in terms of remediating some issues, mold and that kind of thing. From my point of view, and going back to what Mr. Norcross talked about earlier, special education is expensive. And like the staff here, the staff there is amazing. You get what you pay for, and our kids deserve it. So I'm delighted to be on that board. They work really hard.
Yeah, to take the infrastructure a little further, they did have some serious, the HVAC was just aging, and also there was environmental issues like mold. But the firm that they hired to do the upgrade and replace all that stuff is they guarantee energy savings. So if they aren't achieved, it comes out of the pocket of the firm. And so I thought that was an interesting, innovative approach to that. They're also adding additional classrooms where there was a swimming pool in the past, which will have more capability, capacity to the Franklin Learning Center. And I have, not during the cold weather, but I have agreed to go in and observe a couple classes, maybe not the whole day, but someone invited me and told me, you need to go in and observe a kindergarten autistic class. Everybody should do that. So I'm not saying I'm that courageous, but I'm willing to go in, and if anybody would like to accompany me, whenever that is, when I schedule it, I'll be glad to let you know, and if you'd like to join me, that'd be great. That's it.
Thank you. Career Tech Center, Mrs. Gogler.
I'd like to thank Mr. Hayduck for attending the last Joint Operating Committee meeting in Ed's absence. We are at full capacity as far as our staffing is concerned, with the new principal coming on board at the second semester, and all the positions are filled. Applications are at a record high for programs at the Career Center, and the interviewing process to select the students who will be going has started. The 2 new programs are filled for the first-year students. So I think things are going very well at the Career Center. Do you have anything else, Carl, to add?
No, I think you covered it all.
I would like to mention, though, that having been there only one time, I did get a great box of cookies. So sorry, Ed.
Oh, I would also mention that they are having a Saturday open house on February the 28th that's open to the public, in addition to the board tour that they're doing on the 20th. 20th? Yeah, 20th.
Okay, item 14.06, disposal of books, equipment, and supplies, and that information is also attached to the meeting. That meeting's adjourned. Thank you.
7:47. Thank you.